Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and today we're gonna make Woody from the Toy Story Disney movie. So we're gonna start with the skin color clay. I'm using cold porcelain for this one because it was a topper that I made for shipping. So we're gonna start with the 15 millimeters ball, and we're gonna press the ball into the dough and cover the ball, getting all the excess of the dough up, not letting the air dry. So you always pull inside through the top of your ball so you don't get any air or bubbles or cracks after, and you keep getting all the excess of the dough up with the palms of your hands or the table. Try to don't use your fingerprints to don't get any marks. And we're gonna make kind of like a teardrop shape with the little less of the top of the teardrop. I'm gonna just cut it a little bit of the excess on the bottom, and then you just can use your hands or press a little bit on the top of your table just to get all the marks on the bottom off. And that's kind of basically the shape we need for his face. It's like a long teardrop without a top shape, if you know what I mean. But if you look, it's better. He has a very skinny and long oval face. So with the fingers, we're gonna mark what the eyes are gonna be. So the foam ball is on the top of the forehead and head. It's like it's the brain or the cranium of the whatever you're doing. And now with the toothpick, we're gonna mark on the nose is going to come off, and the mouth and all the eyes and mouths and things like that. I just like to mark the nose and where the mouth are gonna be, just because it's easier for you to understand where everything needs to be and get the form of the character you're doing it. Like Woody has a really long head and a really long nose, so that's what I'm trying to mark. See where the eyes are gonna be, how long I need his chin to be, and things like that. And this part of the video is easier for guys to see it. I'm gonna try to say some stuff, but I'm not speeding it up, so it's a long video because I want you guys to see. It takes a little time to get it together, but I wanted to show all the pieces and the steps for you. So now with my tool, I'm just gonna pull up a little bit more the dough, like not forgetting the sides of the nose. He has kind of like a long triangle nose, and that's basically we're doing it right now because we know we're gonna work on this head for a while. So just try to get the basic first where everything is, and then we can leave the way we want it to be, put more and more details. Usually pinch them together to make the nose even stand, because he has a very pointy little nose. Like it's long but it's pointy, so that's what I'm trying to do. Don't forget that he has a very square, like an oval chin, but it's like big. It's not like a princess delicate features. So now I'm gonna mark where I want his smile to be, just for sake of me knowing how much I need for his smile, how much I need for everything else. And now I'm putting a little white, then I let it dry and make a circle. And if you want to learn how to I make those little eyes, I have the video too. I will leave the link below for you guys to see. And I'm just gonna push down right there. So now we can kind of see what we're working on and everything. And now I'm gonna cover the little skin snake with skin color. We're gonna cover all the way around and smooth it out with the tool or a toothpick or everything. It's just to incorporate the eyes with the rest of the face. And now we're gonna smooth it out, everything. Keep it going until you have everything, all the seams and marks, it's smooth. You can use a little bit of water if you're using a little fondant. Even you can use water or a little bit edible glue, but kind of gluing anything, but it always helps a little bit. And now we're gonna do the same thing to the other side. And we're going to smooth it out to the outside. If you guys want to know where I found all those tools, because I know that somebody was asking me, I would try to finally leave the link below. But if you can't find it, just let me know. I would try to see if I can put some on my Etsy page. I have some extras that I never used in the package. And if you guys really want to buy it, let me know. I can give a link on my Etsy page and I can put it there for you too. Making the mark between the nose and the eyes. Be careful for you to don't make the nose wider and wider when you're working on the eyes, and keep it smoothing out. You don't want any cracks or sharp seams or edges or anything, because it's a face. Everything needs to be rounded and falling in. So now I'm just marking a little bit more the brow bones, because when it dries it looks cooler. So you go around it up of the eyes, both sides, and keep making the side on the nose, keep the shape. It's smooth everything in the side. And the end, your fingers are the best tools you have for this. Just when it's tiny little details, of course, tools help, but if you have your fingers, you still can make it. With the back of my tool, I'm just going side to side to start making the lower lip, and to putting the excess up where the cheeks are gonna be. But he have very big cheeks, so I'm gonna make this little tiny teardrop shape, and we're gonna place on the top between the mouth and the smile and the eyes, because he has a very accentuated little smile cheeks. So that's what we need to do. And now we're gonna smooth with a little bit of water like we did for the eyes. Use your fingers to mark where the smile is going, because then you make that part pop up too. And then we're gonna need to do the same thing to the other side. I know that faces for who is learning is always hard, so if you try once and doesn't work, try again, and I'm pretty sure you're gonna learn. I remember when I started, that was really hard for me too. I thought that I would never be able to make things like that. But if you keep trying, I'm pretty sure you can make it. And now we're gonna put the other side. If it's the first time you're watching my video, welcome to my channel, and I hope you can subscribe. Here we make a lot of crafts, a lot of things with clay and cakes and everything else, so it's super fun. So don't forget to subscribe and press the button for the notification, and then you get a little email every time that I put a video up. I know I decided to do the videos for Christmas, but I was making a lot of little tiny videos, and I miss working with clay. That's something that I really like. And so I went back for Mickey Christmas, the Mickey Santa, and this one, and I think you guys want to see more of the clay still. So I'm just marking the sides of the smile and the nose, and I was just checking if everything's okay, and I'm pulling out the excess of the dough to one side to the other. So making this, you make the lower lips and the upper lips pop. I'm using the back of my tool again, just to the mark between at the middle. So now you're gonna make the chin, and the rest of the dough you're gonna pull back and make the neck. I normally cut the neck and make another one when I'm pulling together, but the neck, the excess, is really good for you to hold when you're modeling. Now I made a little tiny snake, and we're gonna make the eyebrows, the eyelids, both sides, and we're gonna need to smooth too. He normally have the eyelids covering a little bit of the top of the eyeball, like the white of the eye, so that's what I'm making. And now we're gonna smooth all that edge and that seams. You know, my videos are long. I think this is more than 30 minutes as well, but I don't like to go over steps or don't show everything or just speed it up everything and don't explain, because when I watch videos like that, I was like, why are you not showing me all the secrets? It's not a secret. It's just because it takes a little while and I want to show all the steps. So I hope you guys don't care that it's long, but it shows everything. So if you want me to speed it up, just leave a comment below and let me know what you guys like the best. If you like not speeding up and long, or speeding up and kind of just showing the special parts, or the main parts. So now I'm cutting the excess for the neck off, checking if everything is okay, if that's the way I want, and we're gonna start the body with this little teardrop shape phone. I'm gonna start making the bottom of his pants, so we're gonna use the blue. So I'm gonna cover it and just mark with my tool where the belt is gonna be. Woody is very skinny, so when you're making him, be careful to don't make the phone, or if you're using foil for polymer clay, to don't make too tight, like too thick, because he's very skinny. So I'm marking just the pants, the middle, the zipper, and things like that with my tool. And a little bit on the side and the diagonal there, to when you have jeans on, you have that little covered zipper kind of thing. So that's how I'm making it. And I'm just tiny little things just to give some details, like it's seen to each other. But in the end, you cannot see it because you put so much stuff, the hands and everything on the top. But sometimes it's always good to make a little detail. And now I'm gonna cut just the clay on the top right there. Now then we have that part cut it. We're gonna use that for holding the body, the yellow part. So you just don't cut the phone, you just cut like the blue dough around. And now with the yellow, I made it just a roll, and I'm kind of shaping his body without anything inside. Since I said that Woody is really skinny, I just gonna make a opening in the bottom so I can fit that top part on that part. Then we cut the phone. Actually, we didn't cut the phone, we cut from the phone to leave a space. And now I'm gonna place his upper body. And you don't need to worry about where the blue and the yellow are getting together, because he has those belts, cowboy belts and everything. And so it's gonna kind of hide it over there. So you just place where you want. Be sure then the bottom is still like rounded as where you're gonna put the legs to stick. So you need to kind of make it like a V shape. And then you can put, after everything is the way you want, and you look at every side is okay, you're just gonna put a toothpick, and we're ready to go. So now I'm gonna put another toothpick in the top, so if it dries or I don't finish today, I can still put the head there. And now for the legs, I'm just gonna make a big, long, thick snake. I like to make it longer than I need and cut it so then I have both sides the same, and then I go up and down in the middle. And then we're gonna make the knees and the top part of his legs. He's very skinny too, so I know that it looks like he's skinny for the top of the size of the top are making, but he's very skinny. And now I made a line where the knees are, and I'm just making the details for the pants. And you're gonna need to make 2 of them. I'm just made 1 in the video, but you need to make 2 just to make the video a little shorter. And I made the line, and I just getting the details on there. And I put the toothpick to where the boots are gonna be. Just make sure then they're both together. And now we're gonna start placing it. You're gonna get a cake dummy or any piece of big foam, put the craft foam on the top, and now you're gonna cross the legs or open the legs, whatever you want him to be sitting on. I want him to be kind of crossing his legs, so I'm gonna place right there, and I'm gonna place a toothpick where the body's gonna be, just to hold everything in place until I finish all the details. But I basically want to be like that, and that's how I leave everything dry, in case you guys want to know. And now with the brown, we're gonna start making the boots. You make a ball and then a teardrop shape, and you're gonna kind of flat a little tiny bit just to make the base of his boots. The same thing to the other side. just like that. It's like a flat, thick teardrop shape. And now we're gonna use a little bit more brown. Remember that the same brown of the boots need to be the same brown of his hat. So if you're mixing like I was, mix enough for both of the parts. I will make a little bit darker brown if it was for me, but that was a topper that I made for a client, and they wanted me to match the brown what the costume that the little boy will be using, so kind of a little lighter than I will make for myself. But you always need to adapt. That's okay. And now I'm just gonna make 2 flat straight parts for us to make his cowboy boots. So I'm just gonna place on the top so I know that they are the same thickness. Just like that. And now we're gonna just be sure that everything is cut and is straight. You're gonna put a little glue on the shoes and place on the legs. I'm just showing you like on the sides because I want to see you guys to see exactly how I'm placing in case you want to do the same. And a little bit more glue, and we're gonna place the other shoe. Now I'm gonna see the way I want him to be crossing his legs. So you look at your topper and see exactly how you want it to be. And now we're gonna make the top part of his boots. So I'm gonna get the leg out because it's easier for you to go around. I like to keep putting on the phone because then you can see how your topper is gonna end up. Since my topper is gonna end up sitting, I would like to be putting it together sitting so I know that every side and I'm looking is perfect. I don't have scratches or marks or anything. So we just folded that piece together and glue it on, and then we're gonna do the same thing to the other side. You just smooth on the back. You can use the back of a brush or your fingers, a little bit water if you need it. Be sure that it's kind of squished to each other because it's a boot, it's not like a separating from the shoes, and then you place back on your phone. I'm pushing a little bit out like that because boots don't get like super tight on your, at least cowboy boots don't get super tight on your leg. So that's what I'm doing it, to give the impression, like a cowboy boots impression. Now I'm cutting a little tiny little a piece, like very skinny snake. But I didn't want it to be a snake because I don't want it to be rounded. I want it to be flat so we can put it around the boot to give it the finishing. So that's why I'm using the flat piece to do that, because I think it looks better than if I made a snake, if that makes any sense. But if you have you think it's too hard to cut it like this, just make a snake and go around too, and put it together on the back so you don't see the seams or where I got together. And then we're gonna do that in both boots. You can also make more details if you want in the boots. You can make that little star, the metal star that the boots have. You can make a little heel. You can make as much detail as you want. But I'm just gonna place this. Now I'm gonna place the other leg back where it was, and now really place the way I want it, because I want him crossing his, almost not crossing his legs, but at one foot on the top of the other, like this. So now I'm gonna open a yellow snake. I'm gonna fold in half and cover the arms. And then we're gonna make it one side very flat where the hand's gonna be. and the other one can be a little bit more rounded. And if you know, the legs were very skinny, so the arms need to be extra skinny. Like Woody is kind of like a little stick. Now I went up and down in the middle of that to make the elbows, and then you fold it, set up aside a little bit, and now I'm putting a little bit ball, like a little circle on the top of the body, because he has like a shirt underneath and it's red, and that's gonna help us when we put the head on the top as well. So now on my Sharpie, because that's a cold porcelain, so it's not edible, I'm just making all the stripes. You're gonna go horizontal and vertical because he has like a plaid kind of shirt, so that's what we're gonna do. You can make with pen, you can make with paint, you can make whatever you want. If you're using a pen like a Sharpie, you see that my Sharpie sometimes doesn't go, is because my topper wasn't like dry. I couldn't wait for them long to dry because I needed to send to ship for my clients, so that was a rushed order. So sometimes you cannot wait, but if you can wait, just wait, because it's way easier when everything is dry. So now I made a little tiny snake, and I'm kind of making the top of his jacket around the neck, the collar of his jacket, I may say, and then I will cut, and it's like a trapeze. You're gonna cut one side to the other side, so you have like, you know, those two cuts, and then I'm gonna make the lines for the plaid the same. You don't need to make like the lines on both sides because you're not gonna see it. And again, if you can let it dry, if you have the extra time, let it dry, because it's very hard to make lines when your clay is not completely dry. I'm not that worried about it because in measuring and trying to be perfect, because he has the other vest that goes on the top, so kind of the yellow hides, so I'm not too worried about. I open a little flat snake and cut little pieces to be the part of his pants that holds the belt. So try to cut as similar as you can, and I think you need like 6 pieces. And now with the long snake, I will flat on my rolling pin to make his belt. I always make extra long, and then I cut it on the topper or the figurine and you're making, because it's easier than make it small and that doesn't fit and then you need to make it again. So always make extra large, like long, and then you can cut it. Now we're gonna place. I normally place like the seams when two parts get together like this on the back of my figurine, but since he has that little part of his belt, you know, the circle that goes on his belt, so I'm gonna use it in the front so I can hide over that. So every time that you need to put it 2 seams together or 2 sides together, try to find a place that you can hide the most. So in this case, it's not the back, it's in the front, because I have another piece of clay to put on top of it. So I'm gonna put it where it gets together on the front, if it makes any sense. And then I will cut, and then there I will hide it with that other piece of the belt, this yellow oval shape right here. So this is the best part for my seams to be, so you just always think about that, where you can hide the most. Now I'm gonna place those little blue pieces that we made to hold the belt. You use the same color of you used for the pants, and then you use a little bit of glue. If you're using not edible materials, if you're using edible materials, you can use water or, you know, egg whites or TLC mixed, things like that. Just adapt your material, and you can make with any type of clay. So I'm gonna just speed it up a little bit because you guys got that. And now I'm gonna place the body on the legs and try really to see how I want the body to be standing. So he's gonna be kind of not super straight. I'm gonna tilt it a little bit to the side, to the back, because always gives a little, you know, extra for the topper. And that's how I'm gonna let it dry for now. Just like that. And I'm gonna go back again to my Sharpie, making all the stripes for the sleeves, because he has long sleeves, so we're gonna need to make all the stripes all over again. You can see on my hand, then I have all those little marks, is because the Sharpie stops working after a while because my clay is wet. So again, the best thing is to wait for drying completely before you do anything. Definitely don't use any chalk pastel on clay when it's wet because you're just gonna mess it up. Now I made a ball and I flat it out, and now I'm opening, just going up and down, and not opening by the sides because we're gonna make his vest. So that's simple. You're gonna just put it in one side and go cover him in the back and put another side, and that's the vest. Unfortunately, I don't know what happened to my video that I painted the vest. It's like those little out of shape circles like a cow, you know, and I don't know what happened, so I don't have it, but I have the picture and I will put in the back for you guys. So I placed the hands where I wanted to do, and that little piece of a collar too. Everything is a little bit glue, not too much. Too much glue sometimes doesn't help. It makes everything slide or get out of place. And now that's the tricky part. I lost the part for the vest and where I was painting the face or putting the hair. So I had this old video that I wanted to do. Then it's Woody Chill, but it's the one that I really don't like it. That was like 2 years ago, a couple years ago. But I'm just going to show then how you make the little snake and put for the eyebrows and how you make the hair. But you can see then the face is a little bit different. This one was smiling, and the one that you guys are seeing here that I'm using for this topper after 2 years is the new one. So I just want to show how much you learn when you practice and you keep trying and trying and trying and watch videos and you try, and then you're gonna get better. So even if it's hard, try, and I know then you guys gonna get better too. So I'm just showing how I put the hair because I lost the video and I don't have this Woody with me anymore. So I remember then I made this video a couple years ago and I didn't like it, but I had exactly how to show you guys how to put the hair. So that's why I'm showing this a little bit different. But the way to put the hair is exactly the same. You just cover the top and then you cover the back, and you're gonna put it together, the excess, and take the excess off. You can take your hands or cut it, and then you just smooth it out. You don't need even to worry too much about it if it's really smooth and flat and no marks, because he has that gigantic cowboy hat on his head, so it kind of hides everything, so you don't need to worry too much about it. But I just wanted to show how to put the hair in case, you know, you guys had any question about it, but I didn't have the video, so that's why I'm using this old one. So don't worry, we're gonna go back to that one. So now I made a circle with a little bit of the shape that you can see on the left side of the screen, and now I make another circle and I teardrop shape and I flat it, and it's a little thick for the top of the cowboy hat. So this brown is the same brown that I use for the boots. And so if you mixing it like I was mixing it, because I wanted to get to this light brown, just save a little bit of your clay at the same color. So I use the back of my brush to make that indentation in the middle. And now with the darker brown, I will make a very skinny snake, and we're gonna cut millions of pieces of that to make that little detail that cowboy hats they have on the outside. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna put a little glue and then put the pieces all the way around, and you could just go slow, and you just need a piece long enough to go to the one side to the other side. Keep going until you have the whole thing done. So now with the little ball tool, I'm just gonna make a little push down like a ball, just to pretend that this is going inside and out, as you know, I was sewing around, but it's not. So I'm just want to give the impression, so I'm gonna do that. So I put a little glue, gonna put that other piece on the top of it, and then you're just gonna put on the head. As I said, my video disappeared, so I don't have this part. And if you have any question in how to paint his eyes, it's just a little dot of brown, a little dot of blue, black, and a little dot of white. So it's not that much a big deal, and this little pink on his cheeks. So if you have any questions on how to do that in the end of the video, let me know. I will make a very fast video on how to paint those faces, but I have the picture in the beginning and the end of the video. Then you can look and do it, or you can just Google like Woody and you can see that how easy is his face. So now I made a little ball and a teardrop shape, and I flattened it just in the little in the front, that like the up front, to curve his fingers a little bit. You don't need to worry about a lot of details on the hand. You can even not cut it all the fingers if you learning and you're starting right now, because he has his hands like on the top of his legs or kind of folding it. So you're not gonna see that much. But so you cut the little V shape and then you cut the other fingers. So like Mickey, we just make 2 cuts because he has 4 fingers. For Woody, then has 5 like us, we make 3 cuts on the axis. And then you just put the size we want. So I want him to be kind of with his hands on his waist, like that. So I'm gonna fold it inside, so I don't need that much detail on the hand because you're kind of not gonna see it. The same thing again, we're gonna do again the other hand. Around it, the edges and the tops. And we're gonna put it the other side, and I want this hand to be kind of sitting, like lying on his leg, just like that. And here it is. This is the vest with the little black dots that I forgot to show you. I don't know what my video is. And that's the face of this one that we made it with the hair and the hat. I hope you guys like it and enjoy this video tutorial. If you want to see anything else, don't forget to leave a comment and give me a little thumbs up. And I will talk to you guys later. Bye. Thank you so much for watching.